Now we're getting to our final segment of the day, which is anime.
Oh yeah.
We don't have a lot here, but we're gonna start with. I can call this probably one of your favorites, one of your new favorites, right?
Oh yeah. I'll 100% say like it's one of my favorite shows.
Delicious in
Currently,
Dungeon.
yeah, Delicious in Dungeon. So just to give you guys like warning, fair warning, just like from the jump, we're not doing spoiler free no more.
Nope.
So um, if you want to like skip due to spoilers or what have you, I'm just warning you right now. uh, Spoilers incoming. And with that, I'm gonna start off. Delicious in Dungeon. It's about a party that, like, right in the beginning of the show, the main character Laios and his party, they go down to fight a dragon, and they lose horribly.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest loss of the whole thing is his sister Fallon. She gets killed, like the dragon eats her. But the main thing about the dungeon that's mysterious is the fact that people can be resurrected in the dungeon as long as their corpse or their bones and stuff like that don't leave the dungeon. So you pretty much have infinite life as long as somebody can resurrect you. So when Laios and his party gets back up to the surface, Laios is like, "No, I'm not going to leave my sister dead down there. I'm going to go resurrect her." And at that point, like half the party leaves except for two people, which is a mage named Marcel and their thief slash pathfinder called Chilchuck, who is like you can almost say he's like a hobbit. He's like a gnome, like hobbit type guy. Um, and the main thing about this show that makes it so like compelling is it's one of those ones that has everything. So like they have moments where they have comedy moments. They have moments where they're like, they have moments of action where they're fighting stuff, but you really get into like what's going on, like, kind of like it's really like a journey, like going all the way through. And it's kind of like just taking your, I'm not gonna, it's kind of like D&D where you're taking your party to go through to save somebody if you make a campaign like that. And you're finding out, getting characters along the way. Like one of the characters along the way that they get, who I think is the best character of the show, is a character named Sinchi.
Oh, the boy,
That's the boy.
Master Chef.
Yep. Um, he's a dwarf, but he knows how to cook everything, almost everything in the dungeon. So this is where the delicious part comes in. When they fight monsters and they kill them, one of the main characters, Laios, he's always curious about. Well, we killed it. How does it taste? Luckily, our boy Sinchi knows how to cook everything. So when they kill a monster, guess what's happening next? They're gonna eat it. So they've eaten the dragon. They've eaten like people, like mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
they've, they've eaten the like. There's like these like mimic coins and stuff that like treasure chest mimics. They've eaten those that somehow taste like crabs. And essentially his main thing is he's in the dungeon all the time because he's making sure the ecosystem of the dungeon thrives. So like he's making sure like, when stuff gets killed or like, the main predator of the dungeon gets killed, like all the smaller predators don't take over. So he's kind of like an equalizer and he keeps the dungeon in good shape until they figure out how to defeat the dungeon, which is the dungeon is popped up because of a mage.
Oh,
And you get to see that mage like later on, like when Laios jumps into a painting. Yeah, there's wild shit like that. He like jumps into a painting to, uh, because they were trying to get food, or I think it was, yeah. So they ran out of food. He jumped into a painting to see if he could pull food out of the painting. But what the painting happened to be was memories like of the mage that was there. So he couldn't eat anything. It was just like a
oh man.
disaster, like all the way through. But I will say, like, just overall, the story is fantastic. You would not know this is a Studio Trigger show by watching it, because you would think, like, Studio Trigger, you like, Lagoon Lagoon and stuff like that. It's kind of a different, a different type of show than those.
It's definitely like a different vibe, but it's a really good show though.
Yeah, it's a really damn good show. So that's going to be Delicious in Dungeon is going to be my recommendation for the week. You guys got homework out there. Watch Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix.
Yeah, make sure you watch it. It's really good. I actually need to finish it, but I really enjoyed the show. One of my favorite parts of the show is whenever Senshi is explaining how he's cooking it, and it's like a Gordon Ramsay type like breakdown. And he's doing his seasonings. He's showing you how he like makes his fire. It's great.
Yep, it's fantastic.
Plus that story. The story is really deep. It's a lot deeper than you think it would be. Even the trailer doesn't do how deep the show is justice.
Yeah, like I didn't get too far into the story, but just the basics of it is what I explained. Main character's sister gets eaten by a dragon. Most of his party members leave, and him and the existing party members, Marcel and Chilchuck, they go back into the dungeon to get his sister. And I will say one of the things is, like, they get his sister, and they get her bones out of the dragon, because they actually do kill the dragon and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel uses dark magic to resurrect her sister. Resurrect Laios' sister. And it is not 100% what they thought. It's not a one-to-one thing. Some parts of the dragon were within her, so when the mage pops up, who was controlling the dragon, she gets controlled by the mage. And she turns into like a chimera. And so they're chasing her around the dungeon now as a chimera.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so this shit's wild. Like the story goes from save Laios' sister to they got to put her down, because like she is ungodly strong as that chimera. Because it's a chimera that can use magic.
Yeah, y'all need to watch that. Plus, we didn't mention season 2 was announced.
Yeah, season 2 was just announced, so
the anime's still going.
It's gonna be still going. So catch up.
All right, I think we can move forward. Like Prof said earlier, there's gonna be a spoiler cast. The anime that I want to talk about this week, we actually kind of touched on a little bit last week, but we actually kind of want to break it down because I ended up finishing it this week, which was Garouden.
Ooh boy,
man.
So first off, man. All right, you watched it now. What's your overall thoughts on it?
We'll break this down like this. Netflix has 3 major battle anime at this point now, right? Kengan, Baki, and Garouden. I think that Garouden, even with only having 8 episodes, only with having 1 season, is the best of the Netflix battle anime. Easily.
Okay. Well, so why do you say that?
The battles are so much more realistic than in anything else. Like I don't know if anyone outside has watched Baki or watched Kengan. They are normal people, but they kind of have like abilities. Like I won't touch too much into those, right? But they have abilities. In Garouden, it's straight hands, it's straight action. They're using actual fighting styles, and if you break an arm or if someone puts you in a choke for longer than 10 seconds, like in real life, and if they know how they're doing it, it's over. And that's what makes this show amazing. The realism in all of the combat. So what do you think, bro? Tell me what you think about the show.
So in general, I just think like, so we mentioned Baki and King and Ashura. So it's those two. Like if you were to put it on like a scale of like extremes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Garouden is like on the far, like, I don't know, whatever side you want to call it, but it's like it's normal.
It's like a 1.
They're humans.
Yeah.
They're actual humans, right? But they're like peak human, right? So, and then it starts getting crazy. So then it goes to like 9, which is King and Ashura. And that's like the difference that you're looking at here. Like King and Ashura, somebody can get their arm broken, their leg broken, and then they come out with some type of mode or heat mode, like ability that snaps their arm back together so they can use it for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, they basically have like an install, like an install super or something.
Yeah. And then Baki is like 50. That shows just insane, right? Like they're all supposedly human, but they go way beyond it. They're just ridiculous. Like Yujiro Yujiro Hanma alone can live through a nuclear bomb. He can just walk through it. And if an earthquake happens while he's fighting his son, he can punch the ground and stop the earthquake, and the earthquake will bow down to Yujiro Hanma. That's the difference. That's like the difference that we're looking at here. But yeah, like Garouden is the most grounded. Like the fights, because like if somebody gets their leg broken or their arm broken, it has a new meaning. It's like, okay, well, this guy's actually like he's screwed. Like he's his arm's broken. He can't do well. It's not like he can't do much of anything. It's just that he's now limited. There's nothing gonna snap that shit back.
We can actually we can actually give a really good example. So one of my favorite fights, which had a very bullshit ending, I'm just gonna say that, I'm just bullshit, is Fujimaki versus Jose. Fujimaki, he is definitely more mixed martial arts. He knows how to do chokes. He knows how to do throws. His whole style is basically being able to do that. And Jose is a boxer, but he has ground ability. Like he's able to do arm bars. He's able to block kicks. Like his lower half isn't a vulnerability, right?
Right.
So what happens in that fight is eventually Fujimaki, I don't want to say break his arm because he definitely didn't break it, but he definitely like dislocated something in his arm, and that ended the fight. Like that was it, obviously, right? Because if you dislocate something on a boxer, that's it. Like you're not. He's not going to start using his legs to start kicking and stuff like that. It's over. The bullshit part was like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and put this in back for you and just put his arm back in after the fight was over. We're not talking about the reason why they were fighting. We can probably talk about that a little bit later. But he was like, oh yeah, you know what? We're done. Pop back. Bullshit. He should have won, but that's my bias. Proceed.
Well, you know what? Like, we can get into it. Like, so, like, the main reason Jose was fighting Fujimaki was because Fujimaki, for some, for better or worse, he didn't think he was going to be entered into that tournament. He thought when he said no, he walked away. But little did he know, he was in the tournament whether he liked it or not.
Yeah, he was getting tested the entire time.
So Jose knew this and was like, hey, if I can beat you, I can get in the tournament so I can get, because if I win the tournament, then I can get, like all the stuff that happened to me, like, with my boxing license and stuff like that. I can get all that back and I can become a boxer again. And the same with, you know, that was like one of the main stakes. And the same with Fujimaki. Fujimaki, who is like, he's been running away from the law. He's a wanted fugitive for killing a man because, you know, a guy broke into his dojo, or broke into the dojo he was at, and he did, you know, after he saw what the guy did to the woman that he was going to try to get with, the guy, Fujimaki snapped and fucking just flat out killed him. It wouldn't have been a contest in the first place, like if they would have fought, but he just like took him and threw him on top of a rock, which is one of the killing moves within Fujimaki's martial arts, the style that they study. So he ran away after that, and the reason he runs away is like it's a little like I was like, damn, you just could have got away with it because it's self-defense and knowing what he did to that girl. But yeah, like there's layers to the story.
we can get into the story a little bit. Like we can get into a little bit. Like we already said that we're okay with spoilers and stuff like that, right? So Prophet already explained that the reason that he was running away is because he was not afraid. He knew what he was doing when he killed the man. But so because of that, he has been watched. He's been followed. He's basically, I don't know if he's on like a most wanted list, but he is a fugitive. He's been a fugitive for a long time. And because of that moment, he didn't want to fight anymore. So when we meet Fujimaki at the very beginning of the series, he's fighting a fucking bear because he needs to get that aggression out of him. He fought a brown bear, and that's what got the tournament organizers to look like, oh shit, this guy needs to be in our fucking tournament. We need him. But obviously he was saying that he wasn't going to fight humans anymore. Like that he wasn't going to fight people. That just wasn't the thing. Right. Eventually that ends up changing because people started getting thrown in front of him and he had no choice.
Yeah, that and like his main thing he said throughout the thing was he only fights beasts, right? So if you consider yourself a beast, then you know he'll fight you. But because he was at that point in his martial arts training where if he fought a normal person, they're just dead. There would be zero challenge. He would just end them. And there would be nothing they can do about it. So like when they told him about the tournament after he beats Jose, and they said, "Hey, this is a tournament of beasts." That's when he starts getting interested, and you see throughout the show when it flashes when like that werewolf flashing thing. That's him getting into his inner beast and like getting in the zone and getting that killer instinct to fight somebody. That's the thing he's been suppressing the whole time.
And God, when he lets that beast out, he is like a different person because that's when you I don't call it an ability, like I guess his like secret move was it called the double fang, when he puts his leg around the back of your neck and then comes up with a knee.
Oh no, that's called Tiger King.
Tiger King. There it is. Where did I even get double fang from? It's definitely like a Tekken move, I think.
Kengan Ashura.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was Kengan, isn't it? Yup.
Boy,
that show. That fucking
because
show.
only one guy uses it. It's your boy.
Yeah. I haven't even seen him yet either. That's the funny part about it. He's ingrained in me.
He's season 3, bro.
I'm gonna get there. That's the only reason I'm watching Kengan is to see him.
Oh yeah, that guy's a beast.
But yeah, Garoud's a really good show. Like we were saying before, the fights are a lot more grounded in reality.
Yeah,
that's what I think makes it, in my opinion, better than Baki and Kengan Ashura, because that's what I prefer anyway. Like, sure, I like watching like high power stuff. Like, obviously, my favorite anime is One Piece. Blah blah blah. Of course, I watch very high powered stuff, but it's nice to see something a little bit more realistic because we don't get that often. That's what makes the show special.
Yeah, it's more of the stakes, right? Like honestly though, like out of the shows, since this is the most grounded, the funny thing is, like when we're talking about the extremes and stuff like that, Baki, believe it or not, like over King and Ashura, like a lot of the stakes are like higher in those fights
Mm-hmm.
because like it's either there's a lot of them where it's like you either win or you're dead, right? Like when the main crew went against the convicts,
Yeah.
if you didn't win, you were dead. Like if Hanayama didn't beat that guy and beat the convict he beat, and like took a grenade to the mouth, he would have died.
That's kind of what I don't like about Kengan. Like, I'm not that far into it. I've only watched now 4 episodes, I think. Like, I'm about to get into the actual like tournament of it, right? Like, obviously, I'm also not a fan of like companies and stuff like that. So companies have representatives to fight for them to get what they want. Not really big on that. Not really big on the characters either, to be honest. But
Right. Well, it's different, right? Like,
yeah,
their whole motivation is, for doing the tournament is different. Like, even Nintendo has a guy that goes down there, right? So, like the big. Oh, you haven't seen that part yet.
Well, I know there's like 1,000 people that represent each one, right? Like, this has been going on for years, and there's people that have like 150 wins and stuff. Well, one person has 150 wins. Like, so I know that there's going to be a lot, so they can keep on drawing this out for as long as they want. It's just Baki has better stakes. Garouden has better stakes, even if they are lower stakes in Garouden. It's just in Kengan they're kind of fighting because they want to fight, and all power to you. Not for me.
Well, in Garouden, we didn't even get like to the main the actual main character shows up, Busichi Tamba.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about him at
Actual
all
main
yet.
Character of the overall show. That guy himself, like, just in the manga, that dude's a monster. Like, and even in the show, they like kind of like hint at it. Like, he ain't one to be fucked with.
He
right?
fights Fujimaki twice.
Yeah, he fights Fujimaki twice.
Both
And-
both stalemates.
Yeah. He keeps up with them both times and actually defeats Fujimaki's master in a fight. So, yeah, Tamba, he's no joke, but like I could see season 2 being about, showing him and his story because like that dude goes through some shit and he's like, if you guys take a look at it, he's actually like the precursor of Baki.
Oh, I can see that.
He's literally like, you break him down, he's Baki Hanma. Like,
Go ahead and give some examples. Like, give some examples to the people.
so some of the examples is like his extreme like training regimen, what he's doing. Like, he obviously has like actually it's not much different from what Baki Hanma was doing, going to dojos because he's called the dojo hunter.
Mm-hmm.
In Garouden. So he goes to all the dojos and he's challenging the best in the dojo to get them closed down. Like, so he's the best. And learn, and he's also one that can, just like Baki, as he's fighting somebody, he can learn their style. So he was learning Fujimaki's style as he was fighting him. Baki has the ability to mimic anybody and completely learn their style by just watching them. or fighting them. There's see the similarities there, like
Yeah, it's close.
um that and like a lot of the we'll just go with like some of the characters like Shozan. Shozan's dopo, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but like it would be dopo if he was scaled up to Yujiro. In this universe, Shozan is like he's the shit. He's the guy to beat. But like yeah, like and also too like Tanba, like the difference between Tamba and Baki is though Tamba actually takes L's. Like he'll lose. He'll just flat out lose, and he'll come back and beat the guy. Like he'll do some training and like figure out how to beat the guy. Unlike Baki like now he can't take a L to save his life. He can't lose.
Well, yeah, he can, because Baki can also like visualize anyone fighting and then fight them himself in his mind. So yeah, he's not going to lose because he's always prepared for anyone now.
Yeah. Well, in the show, like the original seasons that they need to put on Netflix,
They really do.
in season 2, he did lose.
Yeah, he was losing. Yeah.
He got suplexed by a fucking just this random guy. He wasn't focusing. He got suplexed and got KO'd. But plot armor came in and gave him a second chance.
Yeah, of course.
And then he won.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know how that's going to be, right? Well, that's why I'm talking about like how Garouden is just dripped in realism. Like you're not going to win every fight. Like you're not going to be prepared for everyone. That's why this show is fantastic and we need a season 2. Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. I'm staring at you right now. Even though you can't see it, motherfuckers, I'm staring at you. We need a season 2. We need to go through the Tamba arc. We need to get Fujimaki when he comes back out of prison, because that's a thing. And yeah, like Garouden, such a damn good show. Like, if you haven't watched it yet and you like battle anime, like Baki and King and Ashura, give Garouden a shot. It's the more grounded of the 3 shows, and the action and stuff and the combat that happens in it more based in realism. So it's there's higher stakes, and it's a great show. It'll have you on your when the fights start. It'll have you on at the front of your seat, just waiting to see what happens.
Plus it's 8 episodes. Just watch it.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes. Come on. And once you see Tiger King happen, go watch Baki after that.
And
That's
then
all I'll say.
and then don't watch Kengan. Just don't worry about it. You're good.
You really hate King, don't you?
I'm not a fan, bro. I'm not a fan at all of Kengan Ashura.
Get to some of the fights. I think you'll be a fan after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it rock. I'm gonna let it rock for a season. I'm probably gonna watch the whole thing anyway, but I'm gonna let it rock for a season to see if I can get some enjoyment out of it.
Because there are some points where it's like, dude gets one arm broken and then he gets his leg broken and he can't get up, and that's it.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Stuff like that happens, right?
Yeah, man. I think that's a good place to call it. I think we did it. We finished episode 2.
Wait, that's 2 in a row, man.
Oh my god, that's a streak.
Yep.
We need just one more episode to tie the Lakers' longest winning streak of last season. We can do that.
Oh god. Shit, we're gonna pass that next week then, because part of episode 3 is on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna get that out to you guys as soon as after we record it. We'll do a little bit of editing and get it out to you guys for our pre-show for Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm. So again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for taking the time. And we will see you in the next episode. Peace out, y'all.
Yep. Peace out, guys. Holla back at us.